Time in the western port city of Misrata, opposition fighters have apparently taken control of the local airport and been able to push Gaddafi forces back from there. Misrata has obviously been besieged now for 2 months, still surrounded on 3 sides. It's seen some of the fiercest fighting. Marie Colvin, Middle East correspondent for the Sunday Times of London, is in Misrata. I talked to her earlier. Marie, we've heard that the opposition forces in Misrata have taken the airport and are holding on to it. How significant is that?
It's huge, Anderson. In fact, the last 2 days have seen a real breakthrough in what has been a stalemate. The airport it's south of Misrata. You know, we're besieged here, as you know, on 3 sides. The airport is south. It's a huge area, but they took the whole thing today. That's significant, not just because of the land they've taken and forced Gaddafi's troops off of, but that's where a lot of the ground launchers and the tanks were located that have been just hurling high explosives and artillery shells into Misrata randomly into civilian areas. So that's what the rebels were trying to do, is get them out of there, as well as Gaddafi's forces. And we've got the first quiet night we've had in a while.
How has NATO been helpful? Has NATO been continuing to patrol the skies, to bomb the Gaddafi positions that they can find in and around Misrata?
Until the last 2 days, everyone in Misrata was saying, what is NATO doing? Yesterday and today, there's been quite very serious attacks on tanks, missile launchers. Before that, they seem to have been going for patrol centers.
I've been so moved, obviously, by the pictures we've seen, not just of the civilians dying, but of the people in Misrata who have been fighting back and fighting back. I mean, it's extraordinary that they have been able to hold on this long. What have you seen? What do you attribute that to?
Here in Misrata, people are fighting. I mean, remember, these people did not know how to use a gun until 2 months ago. These are their homes, their families. Their backs are to the sea. There is nowhere to go. They had to learn how to shoot. They had to learn how to fight. Today was a day that the rebels just, poured out in the streets, joined by civilians. People were crying and hugging each other when they got that airport, when they got that air academy, when they were able to stop rockets from the south. Now, this is not a complete victory. Remember, there are still tanks and rocket launchers both west and on the east. But this was a big breakthrough for the rebels of Misrata.
Will they be able to start getting supplies by air at that airport? Will they be able to get the wounded out? Because up until now, it's just been the occasional boats and ferries that have taken people from Misrata, the port, to Benghazi and other places.
No, the airport's not going to be able to open, largely because no one would trust Gaddafi's forces not to use anti-aircraft against any plane, civilian plane, even if it's carrying only humanitarian supplies. I think Misrata is still going to have to rely on boats coming in. About 1 aid ship a week is getting in, and that's because the port is also being shelled.
And still they resist. Marie Colvin, I appreciate your reporting. It's been extraordinary as always. Thank you, and please stay safe.